to come up on stage and get started.
Excellent. Well, as everyone gets assembled, I'll explain this. Yes. So I'm really stoked. Lightning round is my favorite time of year. So I guess, raise of hands, how many people in the audience have seen one of these lightning rounds before? All right. So you guys are ahead of the game. For the rest of you, I'm going to explain how this is going to work. So you've seen us go into a lot of topics in depth so far today. This is hopefully going to be the complete opposite of that. So Jack and I have 18 questions that we're completely in love with. Some are serious, some are on the more playful side, so we're really going to test the dynamic range of our participants here. But we need to go lightning quick in order to get through them. And nobody goes lightning quick without an enforcement mechanism. So I've handed Jack a ringy bell and told him to be very liberal with using it. So Jack, yes. Jack, over to you to start.
Okay. So we're going to go down the line. Try to keep your answers short. You're first. How would you explain your work to someone who didn't know what a computer was? This is very unfair for Jim.
Nobody knows what a computer is, including, and mostly software people don't. So I wouldn't try.
Okay.
I invest in magic.
I use math to try to make people healthier.
Ooh.
AI applications are harder than research.
I make molecules very, very fast.
We try to make a robot that can think.
Make a car more than a car.
Making robots smarter.
Building data from Star Trek.
A machine you can talk to.
I do AI research, which means reducing common sense to mathematics.
What is the #1 book or paper that you would recommend this audience reads, and it cannot be your own?
Bummer. that I would recommend on anything?
That the audience reads on the topic of AI.
Gödel Escher Bach.
All the books that have been plugged today.
Gary's book, and on intelligence.
Pedro's book is really nice too.
Everyone gets commissions on this panel.
There is no such a thing.
So at the end of every talk that I've given in the last year, except for today, I've recommended people subscribe to Jack Clark's newsletter, Import AI.
Good idea.
I like Gabriel Perez's Twitter feed.
Pedro's book, The Master Algorithm.
Actually, one of Pedro's papers from almost 10 years ago, it was the 10 useful things to know about machine learning.
Prediction machines.
Knuth, The Art of Programming.
What do you think AI will be able to do? What are you surprised AI can do today, which you wouldn't have expected 5 years ago?
Drive a car.
That Pixel 4 demo was impressive.
Understand doctor's notes.
Can do.
Yeah. I think it can do.
Beat the world champions in chess, Go, and poker.
Predict the smell of molecules.
Language generation.
Games as well, yeah.
Deep fakes as compelling as they are.
Use so many GPUs.
Be superhuman at Go.
High quality machine translation.
So on the flip side of that, what are you surprised that AI cannot do today that you would have expected it to do?
I've been surprised at what AI cannot do ever since I got into the field every year. So I've learned to be careful.
I don't think there's anything. Everything is a surprise when it happens.
Use just one GPU and a CPU.
It's more like depressed than surprised.
Oh.
Reasoning.
Sorry, nothing comes to my mind. It's just been surprising me in the last 5 years.
I want AI to answer all my emails for me.
I'm more surprised by what it can do right now than what it can't do.
Same. More surprised by what it can do.
I'm surprised by how unserious business executives are about machine learning models.
The difficulty of programming robots.
what do you think AI will be able to do 5 years from today? And you can't use an answer you've already given in a talk.
Write code.
That'd be good. Frighten business executives into doing things?
Most of the frontline triage in emergency care settings.
Drive most of the Uber routes autonomously.
Design new scientific equipment.
Right now, it mostly solves things humans have solved and then imitates it. So in 5 years, I'd be hopeful it can bring in so much information from so many sources, it can do something humans couldn't do.
Do the jobs that humans don't want to do.
I have a more conservative version of the driving thing. I think they'll be able to drive highway routes safely.
I'd love to see AI be able to understand objects in the same way humans do.
I'm going to go for translation of really long-tail languages.
I think 5 years from now, we will have hit songs on the charts that were written by computers, and we will have Hollywood blockbusters whose screenplays were written by computers.
I'll put money against that.
All right, this question is back by
Netflix will bet against you, and YouTube and Amazon.
This question is backed by popular demand from last year. So a high school student comes up to you and says, I'm about to go to college. What should I study in order to be AI proof? What do you tell them?
Study AI.
Computer science.
Multiple disciplines all over the map.
My answer would be the intersection of those three.
Study a Venn diagram?
Really the union, actually.
Maybe the union.
I meant the
Be open to learn more than just what the curriculum is.
A lot of math and computer science.
Take participatory flip classes where you're doing things rather than reciting things.
Master the art of applying artificial intelligence.
A lot of math and computer science.
Statistics or symbolic systems?
Art.
Does any nation have a lead in AI technology? And you can verbally define what lead might mean to you in this context today, and if so, what might be that country?
No idea.
You got to guess.
I'll guess. Nobody, because the next big innovation could come from anywhere, and it will be 10x the current leader.
The U.S.
Canada until impeachment happens.
Hopefully soon. No, I think the unexpected thing is probably AI in education can really change the world, accelerate everything else, and China is probably ahead in that.
Yeah, I will also put my money on China.
I think it comes down to education and compute. And I think right now, US is still ahead, but not clear if that's going to last.
Let's do it all together. Where are we today?
Canada.
United States for now.
Canada, US, and China.
I think the US marginally for now as well.
It's different in different areas. Overall, the US is still ahead, but the derivative for China is higher. So China is on track to overtake the US. Europe, sadly, is falling behind.
Guys, this is another call and response. So same question, but 5 years from now.
Well, extrapolating from what I just said, I think
Fair point.
We thought that
I
was
believe
the
in
question.
linear regression.
I'd go for China too.
Let's make it Canada.
United States still for 5 more years, but maybe not 20.
So some of the AI folks here thought that was the question before, so let's do it again.
US or China?
Yeah, I thought it was the question before, so I said China, so China again.
China.
Still Canada.
I hope the U.S.
I'll go with Canada.
And because Shivon and I are benevolent dictators on this lightning round, we're going to shuffle the participants so that you get to go to the middle, and people who are in the middle have to come and stand next to either Shivon or I, so you don't get as much time to think. This is how we make things fair.
Fairness.
Shuffle yourself. There you go. Okay, we've done some sorting. That's good. Okay, and now it's you. What is the most effective thing policymakers can do to create a good environment for the development of beneficial AI?
I think giving PhD students larger compute budgets would have really high impact.
In the United States, stop this nonsense with visas and let foreign people back in.
I think larger research budgets and investment in transparent and open data for all people to use in research.
More funding of basic science.
The less, the better.
I'm going to go for regulatory help for startups. So improving the environment for startups.
I think building basic machine learning models so you have better intuition than the last Terminator movie.
There's many things, but the biggest one is get out of the way.
So regulate for safe development, but don't kill the innovation.
Support the creation of AI institutes like the Vector Institute, or more specialized, AI for X, AI for that, one a year.
Don't overregulate from a position of fear and invest in companies that are doing social good too.
So Pedro, I admit that we can extrapolate from some of your answers for this one, but what is the most harmful thing policymakers could do to prevent the development of beneficial AI?
I think overregulation, like snap decisions, yeah.
Yeah, visas, not give visas to people to travel around.
Yeah, I think not be open to have discussions so that they can understand what they're trying to regulate.
Overregulation, but to dig just a little bit into that, we always treat new technologies using the ideas from the old ones. The right way to regulate AI is by first understanding how it's new and how it changes society. And the biggest harm is treating it by the standards of the old things. That mistake has been made many times before. We don't need to make it this time.
I think you put that well.
Yeah, I agree. Panicked overregulation, banning things out of fear without understanding them first.
Overly specific goals.
Yeah, avoid overregulation and level the playing field for new technologies.
Overregulation.
Worst thing that policymakers can do is to treat AI as magic without understanding the strengths and weaknesses of different techniques.
Overregulation on visas.
That's quorum, basically. What part of AI research should people pay more attention to? And you can cite a field that you're part of, but you can't just cite your own very specific brand of research.
Going forward, AI plus biology.
Bringing together different strands of AI.
AI and health.
Old school and new school AI.
I'm interested in the AI material research.
Yeah, I agree with Barney. A wider look at different things that are happening rather than focusing on the most hot things.
The microeconomics of AI.
New paradigms in machine learning. The main driver of progress in the AI for the foreseeable future will continue to be machine learning. But the big problem is that machines do not generalize remotely as well as people. I don't think we will get there with the existing paradigms, so we need new ones. Haha, I got away with it.
Skip his next question.
Does this mean that I don't need to
Penalty.
answer? I guess things are different than the norm. There is this problem that maybe we are all doing the same thing, so careful there.
Yeah, I will look in novel applications, especially in science, new discoveries in different areas that people have not used it for.
Yeah, I think hybrid cognitive architectures and also taking inspiration from neuroscience to understand brain models.
So if you were the Prime Minister of Canada, bear in mind this is a nonpartisan question, so you can be part of whatever party you would like to be part of. If you had to focus 100% of the Canadian government's AI efforts in one area, what would that be?
do. Embodied cognition.
Oh, materials.
I should have pulled the Jack caveat.
Can you guess?
Healthcare.
If you made large-scale compute and data as cheaply available as possible, you'd get many of the best researchers in the world to work with you.
I'm going to go for AI for health, unambiguously positive for the world.
Creative education.
Quantum computing and AI.
Healthcare.
Leveraging the world's existing knowledge into machine learning.
Enabling students through compute and data.
When do you think the first machines will fall in love with each other? Threw a curveball in. They're getting too comfortable.
No idea.
Never.
Do you remember what Jeff answered last year? He said, they're into younger men, not me. So I feel like some period of, they're, the young algorithms, they've already fallen in love.
Yeah, I think they might already love each other.
Yeah, I'm with him.
2050.
My iPhone is already quite affectionate towards my iMac, so.
I think machines will never fall in love with each other, but we will very soon think that machines do fall in love with each other. Maybe even now.
Are we humans?
Never.
I think we could program them to by manipulating the reward functions, maybe. So anytime we want to.
All right, let's get even more personal. Have you ever fallen in love with a machine?
Yes.
Me too.
I'm so glad she was standing beside me for that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm married, so I can't answer.
I haven't, but I know you have, Shivon.
I already spend too much time with my iPhone.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet, but probably soon.
I really loved my BlackBerry.
My Roomba is amazing.
My Commodore 64, but I'm over it.
Ooh, good one.
No.
What's the top question people should be asking about AI that they're not asking today?
How to resolve the kind of unknown aspects of what might happen and how to deal with that.
Why aren't we there yet?
Robustness and generalization in real tests of systems end to end.
How good does it actually need to be successful in the intended application?
When will AI manipulate our information flow in a way that we can't understand what reality actually is?
This is a question for everybody. I would say, what is it? I think there's a lot of ignorance. So what is AI?
We're probably not spending enough time actually introspecting on models that are already in production to learn lessons.
How do I use AI to do my job better?
Can we use AI to remove things that we don't need and to understand what we don't need?
Can we make government more efficient by AI?
People need to think about how to use AI for good. Too many people focus on fear, and what you focus on grows.
Do you think you'll ever feel comfortable with your child or parent having a robot companion to help take care of them?
Absolutely.
No.
Not now, but soon.
Sorry, I missed the last part of your question. Having what?
A robot companion to help take care of them.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, so long as it isn't exclusive. People contact too.
Yes, but probably 10 or 20 years.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, fewer years. It's just like a teddy bear.
Oh.
Yes, because especially for elderly people, their independence is really high value to them, and that will enable it.
Well, give a big round of applause to all of our panelists, because